go. My LARPing session didn't quite go as planned, so instead I'll be giving you a brief overview of the AR500 Battle Belt. Right now I just checked, it's about $100 on their website. I know the price fluctuates. Sometimes you can get a good deal, sometimes it's standard price, whatever. About $100. And you can see it kind of just attaches around the middle. Well, I know you're all probably familiar with a lot of battle belts that kind of have the same idea, where you can see it connects around the middle, around front with a buckle. You have your release right here, and you push this in and then unclip it to undo the belt. And going around, it attaches to an inner belt that you probably saw in the intro here. That's Velcro. A lot of battle belts work that way, so it's nothing too revolutionary. But the idea is this is a very affordable belt, at least to me. I was looking for something I could A, wear to the farm, B, could use it if I ever really need like actual use with the rest of my kit. So kind of have a practical and then more of a technical kind of thing. But the more practical use for it is have a spot to put just my regular rifle ammo over here, as well as pistol ammo. And those are just kind of the standard stuff I take to the farm. And then over here I have an attachment for my holster, so this will slide in and drop down. So I'm gonna take this off and we can look at it more closely, but you can see just how I have the very basic setup here. To pull it off, and did my mic there for a second. But you saw it just came off pretty easily. And then on the inside is this little soft Velcro stuff. So I do think it's pretty standard to have that kind of belt. I'll take this off too, we can look at it. As for the belt itself, so let's take a look at it. So I have it set up for just having, oh, here's my kitty. I have it set up for very basic stuff. So I have these two pistol, the S-Tac pistol Kiwi pouches, as well as the S-Tac magazine pouch. And you have the MOLLE going all the way down, so you can actually outfit it with a whole slew of stuff. Now, just for my kind of knock around pistol, I keep this this holster here. It's the Black Hawk, QD. I know they're not the best, but as far as just taking to the farm, this isn't. For the most common usage is I'm going to the farm, walking around the woods, or going around. That is it's the most practical for me right now. There are better options, but for what I usually use it for, it works. Well, so that's here, and they've designed it so the interior, this inside belt, slides through and each of these sections is open, and it's mainly for this kind of stuff right here. So I actually attached it on the inside. See how it slides around, and then it can drop down. So I can get if I actually had a holster that came down further, you can still drop it down and you're not riding it on this. So you have a more secure and stable platform for your pistol, which is nice. And then all the MOLLE strips, it works like any other kind of MOLLE. These things are really rock solid. The attachments are really rock solid, and it's not flopping around, so can't really complain too much about all this. It's very, very practical and usable for what you're getting here. And these belts, or the buckles rather, I don't see an issue. I know some people have a problem with the, just using hard plastic like that. I mean, it's pretty heavy duty. It's pretty good stuff. I know some people have an issue with using plastic buckles like that, but once again, for the price and for the kind of practical purpose that I use this for, I can't complain too much. I mean, it works pretty good. The one thing I did have an issue is, and I don't know if it's with all belts or with just this kind of belt, the way they've designed it. So the inside belt slides through, like I was talking about, it slides through the inside here. And you can see it kind of running in these little spaces. And they do this too, so you can have flexibility and get it positioned right. And that's where the issue I had came in, is that getting these buckle positions right on your waist and inside this this kind of outer shell is a bit of a pain, especially when you're trying to run a holster like this. This was probably the biggest pain in the butt of the whole thing, was trying to get this in here, get it attached, and then get this over and positioned properly. This was a huge pain in the butt, but it's there and it works fine. But that's just something to keep in mind. I think maybe part of it is, the cost is very affordable. I think it's just one of those areas where it's a good and bad thing, I guess. But something to keep in mind. Getting this adjusted properly was a big pain in the butt. Once you have it adjusted, it's not a huge deal, but it's something to think about for the initial setup. I will say, I guess it's kind of better to have it difficult to set up because it makes it difficult to get loose and knock around. So especially if you're using it hard, you don't really want stuff to move. Like I said, it's a good and bad thing. It's really annoying at the start, but once I have it set up, it's worked fine and it's been pretty solid. Now for the inside belt, it is just straight Velcro around. I can pull it. Pull it and we have this soft stuff on the inside. Then you have the little plastic loop. And then we have these sections. And I think these sections are for you to kind of fit it to yourself and fold it over. I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm guessing that's what they're for, as opposed to keeping one consistent piece. You can say, okay, well, if I lose weight or if I'm a big guy or whatever, you can kind of tighten it in or pull it out. Is what I'm guessing. There's not really a whole lot more to say about this inside belt. It does its purpose just fine. It's really stiff and sturdy. This will hold up for a lot of stuff, and getting it properly adjusted isn't too hard. There's Katie again. Come on. Come on. Fun fact, when I let my cat in, I hit the stop recording button on the camera. So that whole portion is gone. So I'm doing this again, giving my last little bit and final thoughts on the AR500 belt. The belt itself, I think, is a good value for the money, especially if you're looking for something to use just kind of for an everyday purpose, like going around the house, going around the farm, going around the yard, that kind of thing. Definitely is a good value for the money. It works really well. It's very secure, especially if you get quality pouches like I have one here. These S-Tacs are fantastic. You can really get stuff in there, secure them down. They work really great. My main critique is just maybe the buckles and the initial setup. But I think the initial setup for a lot of stuff is pretty difficult. Getting everything in the right place. It's always aggravating, for at least on my vest as well. So maybe I can't fault it too much, but I know I did have some trouble getting my holster attachment put on there, so that was a big pain. The plastic buckles, while they are pretty sturdy, I probably would have liked to see something a bit more, I don't know, would make me feel better if they were, I don't know, better plastic or metal. I don't know what you actually use using other belts, but that might be a point of concern for some people, and just something to keep in mind. But beyond that, like I said, you are paying $100. Like, it's $100 for this whole kit and caboodle. The whole kit and caboodle right here for $100. Well, minus the pouches and the holster. For $100, it's I think it's definitely a good value, especially if you aren't going to be using it really hard. Although if you had to, I'm sure it probably could last you a little while if you were using it hard. So definitely give it a whirl if those are kind of your criteria. If you're like me, I'd go for it. I would buy it again. That's what I'm saying. I'd buy it again. Actually, I might buy another one to go, so I have a matching set for my other vest. Anyway, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and we'll have, of course, more videos like this reviewing equipment, guns, maybe even some camping outdoors equipment. So be sure to stick around for that. Leave a comment if you've also gotten these and how you got your setup. Also, if you have another suggestion for maybe a different company for me to look at for that other belt, I'd really appreciate it down below. See you next time.